Good evening. I am Julia and I'm here to discuss if song lyrics can be considered literature just like novels, plays, and poetry are. So, to begin with, it's important to remember that music is everywhere in our lives nowadays, especially if we are talking about the pop culture, the pop songs. They are very, very influential. And ever since Bob Dylan won the Nobel Prize of Literature in 2017, this debate, if the song lyrics are literature or not, has become stronger. So, my opinion is that yes, they are literature. And here's the main point I want to raise. According to Jonathan Kohler, a professor at Cornell University and author of the book Literary Theory, A Very Short Introduction, literature is any language in which the various elements and components of texts are in a complex relationship. And this can be found, for example, in the hip hop movement nowadays, because it is all about playing with words, images, and figures of speech. Actually, in certain songs, the linguistic aspects, such as the wordplay and the symbolism, are as important, if not more, than the melody itself, which is very similar to how, for example, poetry is consumed. The opponent side might argue that it's hard to find pop songs as meaningful and complex as plays or novels or poetry, but I see your point, but I think that does not make them not literature. They can be a piece of literature, but a more simple one, depending on your point of view. And also, pop songs, they do not have enough space to tell the whole story, support all of its arguments like a novel or a play do. So, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it lacks content or originality just because they are brief. So, brevity is not a disqualification, especially if we are considering Jonathan's definition on literature. In addition to that, also according to Color, the the definition of literature changes as the time goes by, as the centuries and decades goes by, and culture and society also change. It affects how literature is perceived and defined. In summary, I want to point out that song lyrics, they do focus on the language and how the elements and components of this language are intertwined and are related to each other in a complex way. And therefore, because of this interaction, it can be considered literature.